One of the biggest things that we've seen recently is an epidemic of golfers getting stuck or feeling like they're stuck during the transition of their golf swing. And I think where a lot of this is coming from is in an effort to shallow out the golf club, because every golfer is very aware that we need the golf club to shallow in the downswing, but so many of us are starting from a very shallow position already that we're simply jamming that golf club in behind us. So what we're going to take a look at in this video is how we can get the golf club unstuck and start getting that golf club back in front of you where you can take full advantage of your power and your precision. So in a world of 3D motion capture, a lot of golf swings have been measured over time because 3D motion capture has been around for quite a while now. So I know that Michael Neff from Gears and Phil Cheatham from AMM, now Sportsbox, have captured multiple tour players. And one thing that they've typically always seen when measuring really good players is that the head does move to the right in the backswing. And I think that's very, very important because I think there's a lot of people out there who still believe that the head doesn't move during the golf swing. And that really creates a lot of problems for creating a dynamic motion when we try to keep a singular point static and move everything else due to the fact that we have to move low point during the golf swing. So what do we need to create during the backswing in terms of this movement with the head that's going to be advantageous for you and prevent you from being able or from getting this golf club stuck behind you? Well, that's where it gets really, really interesting, I think, because like we said, so many people are trying to keep their head still, and not only are they trying to keep their head still side to side perhaps, but they're also trying to keep their head still from front to back. And the back part is very interesting because if I move my head what feels like backwards, that's actually up. And that's where I think so many golfers are getting stuck in their current golf swing, is that they're not allowing for their head to move to the right, and they're definitely not allowing for their spine to extend a little bit and move away from the ball. And we definitely want to create some movement with the spine away from the ball in the backswing. And the reason for that is because we have to create some sagittal plane torque. That's what we're trying to create. So when we think about that, if the spine moves back and away from the target a little bit, so if I put this golf club across my back, now keep in mind I have a curve in my spine, it's not straight. But if I move the spine back a little bit this way, then I'm gonna have to move the spine a little bit back in front. And the changing of that creates a torque. And when I get my spine moving towards the ball, what that's going to do for me is that's going to make it much easier for me to get this golf club moving back in front of me, versus when I stay forward tipped with my spine because I'm not letting my head move, and now all of a sudden I can't move my spine that way. Now I stay in forward bend, and now I can't get the golf club to want to move behind me or create any twist because I'm locked out in my lower lumbar. So now that creates a ton of issues for golfers when we're trying to go about creating a nice backswing to where we're able to load the body. So once again, allowing for the head to move right, not the worst thing ever. Allowing for the spine to move back away from the ball, not the worst thing ever. And both of those things are going to allow us to move a little bit more into the sagittal plane with the spine. And like I said, if we can get a little positive sagittal coming out of transition, that's just going to make it easier for me to get this golf club back in front of me. And that sagittal really is kind of what contributes to the out in the downswing. So we're trying to move the club down. Anytime we're trying to move down the inclined plane, the club is also moving to the right. And a lot of that has to do with that initial sagittal plane torque that we create in the golf swing. But it's very, very difficult to do with the spine staying forward. So that's what we really have to make sure we're doing a good job of in the golf swing, is not trying to keep that spine forward and that head down. Rather, we want to feel like we're trying to create some movement up and away from the ball and creating kind of that stretch, because now I'm going to move back towards it. And once again, helping get the club back in front and making it much easier to deliver that club and prevent that club from getting inside and feeling stuck. So if you're fortunate enough to get some practice time in and do some videoing of your golf swing, you can definitely pay attention to this and make sure that that spine and that head isn't staying forward by videoing your golf swing a little bit. So if we're looking at this from the down the line camera, which we now have the ability to do, what we're kind of wanting to see is, once again, we don't want to see that the club just moves like that and the upper body stays forward. Rather, what we want to try to do is we want to try to feel like that upper body kind of moves back and away and creates kind of a spiraling twist feeling, to where we feel like we're spiraling up and around and not necessarily falling to the left or any of those things like that. So once again, trying to feel like we're creating a little bit of movement away from the ball with our spine, not through our legs, not through our pelvis. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about having the lower body set, but letting that spine kind of extend away and then towards creating some sagittal plane torque, which is going to be super helpful for getting that club unstuck. So the worst feeling as a golfer getting the club stuck behind us, because we just feel like there's nothing we can do coming into this thing. And generally it's because we're so stuck this way that the arm is just trapped behind the body. So long story short, we want to feel like we get the arm moving back in front of the body, inside that right hip, and then everything can kind of move through together into impact, which creates an ideal scenario for club delivery. So for my friends out there who constantly feel stuck, I hope this helps. Give it a try. Let us know how it works in the comment section. Love to hear from you guys. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button for us as well. That really helps a ton and really allows us to understand which videos you guys want to hear more about and which ones you want to hear less. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, keep grinding.